I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational, but that just wouldn't be our style.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
SportsTownChicago.com. Lombard, part of the Peon Air Network and available on the TuneIn app.
Hell yeah.
Broadcast home for your Windy City Bulls and the Chicago Dogs. We're in a league of our own. Now, here's your SportsTownChicago.com scoreboard update.
At 4:20, I'm Jonathan Young with your SportsTownChicago.com update, powered by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com. NFL is back tonight. The Ravens play the Chiefs in Kansas City at 7:20 on NBC. Cubs will play the Yankees tomorrow in Chicago at 1:20. Yesterday, Imaga and two relievers combined for a no-hitter as the Cubs went 12-0 against the Pirates. Cody Bellinger, Dansby Swanson, and Pete Crow Armstrong all went deep for the White Sox. Or for the Cubs, I'm sorry. The White Sox will battle the Red Sox tomorrow in the Battle of the Feet in Boston, 6:10 Friday. The White Sox yesterday played the Orioles and snapped a 12-game skid, going 8-1. Nicky Lopez, Andrew Vaughn, and Dominic Fletcher all went yard. The Steelers are Russell Wilson is limited in practice due to calf tightness. Is Justin Fields starting? The Chiefs, a holic, sentenced to more than 17 years in prison over bank robberies. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update, brought to you by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com.
You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes.
Now live. Your host, Jonathan Young. Windy City Sports Nation.
Dragons. Somebody grab Dragons and say, do you know who this kid is? He's from Chicago. He has a 40-inch vertical. And you are, where's my poster machine? This is what I need my poster machine. Where's it at? Oh, my goodness.
Are you ready to dominate?
He hurdles Sauerbrunn, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. 75-yard punt return. Devin Hester, you are ridiculous.
Welcome to the 100th season of the National Football League. Tonight is not about the league.
What's up, Juju?
It's about football. It's about the players, the fans, the moments, and everything else that makes you say,
Oh, boy. That's right, everyone. So it is not 100 years of football, but that is one of the best commercials ever. I would like to take a time to thank NFL for that clip. NFL is back, everybody. If you did not know, if you haven't been outside yet or watched TV or anything like that, you might not know the NFL is tonight, but NFL is back. I am so excited, man. The Baltimore Ravens will be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And I mean, I think that's a great kickoff for the NFL season. Are these the best two teams for the kickoff season? I think it is. This is a great matchup, if you ask me. But I would love to hear everyone else's opinion or choices? Who do you guys think would be a great matchup for opening day? Hit me up, JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation at gmail.com. Let me know who you guys think would have been a better game, if there is one. If you guys don't think there's one and you rocking with who they got, let me know that too. Let me know. All right. So with this game coming up, there is a lot to prove in this game. There's a lot to prove because everybody looks at the quarterback position as the most important position on the football field. And I agree. I agree wholly with that. So in this game, you have to, of course, look at the two quarterbacks. And you got Patrick Mahomes, who is arguably the GOAT of quarterbacks of football, really. I mean, no other NFL player has come in the league and had as much success as far as winning championships and playoff history as Patrick Mahomes. So arguably, yes, he is the GOAT. Versus Lamar Jackson. And it's two totally different teams. And man, I really feel bad for Lamar Jackson. I do. And people always say, man, he in the playoffs he crumbles and he's not that, you can't rely on him consistently. I really think Baltimore has failed Jackson. That's my opinion. Just like the Bears failed Justin Fields. When his window was there and they had a chance to possibly do better than what they are or have been, every time they've had that opportunity, they haven't been able to get over that hump. And I can't say it's all because of Jackson. He needs help. And it's hard when you are not, and when you are no longer on that rookie contract, because the quarterbacks take up so much of that money. They really do. And I feel like that's what separates the great quarterbacks from the good quarterbacks, is you need help if you're a good quarterback. Lamar Jackson is a good quarterback. I don't think he's a top 3 quarterback, but I think he's a good quarterback. I'd say he's a top 5 quarterback. Because he's carried his team by himself. Baltimore, they really didn't give him much. You got to give him some weapons. If you look at the other top quarterbacks in the league, look just across the field in this game. Look across the field in this game. Patrick Mahomes has had Kelsey his whole career. He's had Tyreek Hill, Pacheco. Like, these are offensive weapons that you need. Sure, Lamar Jackson's had a couple of tight ends, but I don't remember any spectacular running backs or consistent running backs. He leads his team in rushing yards. How is that? Why is that possible for your quarterback to lead your team in rushing? Where's your running backs, man? Who's running the ball? This is why I say Baltimore failed Lamar. This is why. And it's not like you can just put him on a different team, because there's the salary cap. So as good as he is, or as good as he may be, we'll never really know or really see, because he's so limited now. If he was going to be great, those first 4 years of that contract, if he was going to get over the hump, that's when you would have seen it. Those first 4 years, that's when you have to build through the draft of a rookie quarterback. Those first 4 years. And if you don't do that right, you're going to be in trouble. you're going to be in trouble because you're going to have to pay all those other players to come play with you instead of those rookie players who have already been through the system, who are willing to play for you on a cheaper contract because that's home. Like this is all they've known. But if you can't pick right in those drafts, if you don't get it right in those drafts, there's problems. I mean, I feel so bad for Lamar. I mean, he never, ever gets a top tier wide receiver. And it sucks. It's hard because how are you supposed to advance? Zay Flowers is probably his best weapon he's had. Derrick Henry's here now. Derrick Henry's here, and Derrick Henry is a beast. He is a running back that you can just feed him the ball and just let him run. That's the type of runner that Derrick Henry is. But he just got signed this year. He wasn't here last year, and he wasn't there last year for Lamar. Zay Flowers, he was a rookie last year. They need that. You have to develop players if you want to succeed. Mark Andrews, like, they're getting there. You're getting there. You signed Derrick Henry. That's help. You drafted Zay Flowers. That's help. But he needs more. It's just not fair, man. It really isn't. You got all these top tier wide receivers want to go to different teams and stuff. And I understand you want to get paid. I want to get paid too. But nobody's going to go. Baltimore doesn't have any money to pay those players. So guess who's not going to Baltimore? Those top tier players that are needed. That's who's not going. Kansas City just does it right, man. They do it right, man. They do it right. They drafted Pacheco for him. You know, Kelsey was out of here. Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy. Like, Xavier Worthy is a great addition for them. They're trying to build off of whatever success they've had. And they've had a lot. They've had a lot, but they're still not complacent. Even with all that success that Kansas City has, this is why they are set up the way they are. Even though they had that success, they're still going out and getting Xavier Worthy. You want to upgrade any way you can. You have to. Kansas City's roster is, and they can do this because Patrick Mahomes is arguably the best quarterback. No, there is no argument. He is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. There is no debating it. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in all of the NFL. So it's easier if you have less around him. When they took Tyreek Hill from him, he didn't feel that as much as if you gave Lamar Jackson Tyreek Hill. Because there's a difference in tiers. Patrick Mahomes is the best. I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson is terrible. That's not what I'm saying. I think he's really good. I think he's so underrated because Baltimore has mishandled his career so badly, a la Justin Fields, that this is what you're stuck with. You know? And what does he do? He goes on and get MVPs. Poor Lamar, man. I feel so bad for that guy, man. All right, Baltimore lost some people. They lost Patrick Quinn. He signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Divisional rival. Oh man, that's got to sting. That has got to sting. Patrick Queen was a beast at linebacker, man. They lost 3 of their starting offensive linemen, guards Kevin Zettler and John Simpson and Moses, and their most productive edge rusher in Jadeveon Clowney. That's who Baltimore lost. Alrighty, they have injuries to Deion Jennings. He's a linebacker. He's on injured reserves. There's an undisclosed injury. Christian Matthew, he's a cornerback, also with an undisclosed injury. Trayvon Mullen, he's a cornerback, also with an undisclosed injury. I mean, I don't know how these teams is getting away with undisclosing these injuries. I thought you had to disclose those injuries, but all right. The players that left Kansas City is Jordan Smith. He's a linebacker. Wide receivers, Shea Smith and Anthony Miller. I'm pretty sure that's the Anthony Miller that played for the Bears. He was decent, but never panned out. Linebacker Cole Christensen. And the teams agreed, Kansas City agreed to terms on a 2-year contract extension with Travis Kelce. So with all those people leaving and everything going on, do you see the difference in the teams? Like, Baltimore lost players. Sure, you're going to lose players. So did Kansas City. But Kansas City re-signed their own. They re-signed Travis Kelce because they know Patrick Mahomes' blanket, his fallback blanket, his fallback guy is Travis Kelce. They're not going to let that guy go anywhere. That guy, he's one of the best, if not the best, tight end in the league, year in and year out. Kittle. Okay, argument between him and Kittle, but I think it's Kelce. I really do, because he's faster than Kittle. He's stronger than Kittle. In my opinion, he has better hands than Kittle. Black's better than Kittle. Travis Kelce is a beast, man. And when you re-sign him, you're setting. Okay, so you re-signed him you got him for 2 more years. Xavier Worthy, if not this year, next year will be ready to step in and be their number 1 receiver. And he reminds you so much of Dante or of Tyreek Hill. Fast, short, very explosive. That's what Tyreek Hill is. So, I mean, they just drafted him, so they got 4 years with him. I mean, these are the things you want to do to set your team up for success. That's why Kansas City always is in the playoffs. It's not just Mahomes; it's because they're a great ran organization. They draft well. They don't overreach. They draft the best position available. If somebody's there for them, they take them. You don't got to reach every single time. Sometimes you just have to take. Sometimes you have to take what's in front of you, and just go from there. So it's good to see. It's good to see Kansas City and Baltimore playing tonight, because I am ready. I know I'm ready. And I can't wait, man. It's 4:40 now. We got about 3 hours. 3 hours for kickoff. I am super pumped. And I can't wait. Baltimore, Kansas City. My prediction on the game itself is I'm going to say Baltimore is going to win. Even though I believe Patrick Mahomes is the best player on the field, I think that Derrick Henry is going to take so much stress off of Lamar as far as running when he has to do it, because now you got a good running back. Not only is he a good running back, you got a workhorse running back, which is definitely who Derrick Henry is. Get that man the ball 30 times a game, it's nothing. 40, you can give it to him 40. Derrick Henry is a workhorse, and it is great, absolutely great to see him in Baltimore, because now it's not all on Lamar's shoulders. Now he got a running back. Now he can handle. My biggest take of this year for Baltimore, for the Ravens, is that Lamar Jackson will not lead the team in rushing. Not this year. He will not lead the team in rushing because they have King Henry. They have their running back. And it is absolutely great. I am so happy for Lamar and him and them finally getting him a great running back, and it's going to help him. So I'm going to say Baltimore is going to win tonight. It's going to be a close one, though. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a shootout, a high-scoring game. I'd say 38 for Baltimore, and we'll go with the Chiefs. We'll go 33. No, 32. We'll go 32. No, they're going to get 4 touchdowns, 28, 2 field goals, 6, 28, 6 is 34. They're going to get 34. It's going to be 34, 38. That's the winning number right there, 34, 38. It is a full day of NFL talk. And in the NFL, there's always injuries. It's always happier. It always happens. So it's next man up. Always. You got to have depth. You got to have somebody behind you. So do we. So you got to have somebody behind you. So who's next up? Who is next up? We will let you know in just a moment.
SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Maybe that was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you gonna go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long-range 3. It's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you gonna get all your sports news from?
You know,
SportsTownChicago.com.
St. Patrick's Day, the only day of the year that it's okay to not boo the Boston Celtics.
I will show you mercy.
SportsTownChicago.com.
Bring it in! Today, nothing else matters.
As long as those beside you and those behind you know that you got their back. Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? We 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 got your back.
Who got my back? Who got my back? We got your back. Who got my back?
We got your back. Who got our back?
We got your back. Who has my back?
Who got my back? That's right. I got your back. And we are back live and back with football. I would like to thank NFL for that last clip. That's right. So the NFC is up next and it's opening day. So we're talking football all day long, man. There is no segments. Normally I have 4 segments because there's 4 parts of the show. Today, because it's NFL opening day, there is no 4 segments. It's only 1 segment. And that 1 segment is NFL football. All righty, guys, let's get into it. So the NFC, what is everyone's predictions for the NFC? Every year you got one team that goes from the bottom to the playoffs. Every year, 15 out of the last 17, 16, it's very likely that there will be a team this year that went from worst to the playoffs, because it always happens. So I would like to know who you guys think from the NFC, only NFC, who's going to go from the worst to the playoffs. Now, I am a diehard Chicago Bears fan, and it's easy to pick that team. And I would like to say it is going to be my Bears, but as much as I love the Bears, I don't think it will be the Bears. And the reason I don't think it's going to be the Bears isn't because of Caleb. It's not even because of Eberflus. It's not because of polls. It's because expectations tell you not to expect a rookie to continue what CJ Stroud did. That was a rarity what he did last year. And statistics and everything like that tells you usually it's not gonna happen. But I want to hear you guys' opinion on who you guys think that team will be from the NFC. Hit me up, JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation at gmail.com. Let me know, please. Let me know who you guys think will take that next step for the NFC. Me, like I said, I would love to say it's going to be the Bears, but I can't say that. I can't say that. So you got the Commanders, who were 4-13 in their division. You have the Cardinals, who were 4-13 in the NFC West. The Commanders are in the NFC East. In the NFC North, it was the Bears and the Vikings. Because they finished with the same record. And then in the NFC South, you have the Carolina Panthers. So if I had to pick one of those 5 teams, because we're going to include the Vikings. If I had to include those 5 teams, the Commanders' defensive line really took a hit when they lost Sweat and Young. So I don't see them getting better necessarily. The Cardinals improved with Marvin Harrison Jr. That could be just what they needed. I mean, you got but that's a tough division with the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. You have to play these teams twice. So it's probably going to be someone in the division that isn't so top heavy. Like in the East, you got the Cowboys and the Eagles. The Cowboys were 12-5. The Eagles were 11-6. So for the Commanders to do that division and make the playoffs, it's going to be very difficult. Because you have to have a winning record. You're not going to win it's highly unlikely they'll win their division. They're going to have to get in as a wild card. But if your division is hard to play, that's 2 times each team you have to play. So I don't like the Commanders' chances. In the NFC West, you have the 49ers who finished 12-5, and the Rams who finished 10-7, and then the Seahawks who finished 9-8. That's easier, in my opinion, for the Cardinals. That's easier, but you got 3 really solid teams. So no, that's not easier. You got 3 versus 2 with the Cowboys and the Eagles. But the Cowboys and the Eagles are so top heavy. They're so top heavy. So by top heavy, I mean like they're arguably 2 of the best favorites for the Super Bowl. That's what I mean by top heavy. They have such a good team. You know, that's what I mean by top heavy. And then you have the Cardinals, or then you have the Lions, the Packers. The Lions were 12-5 in our division. I can see them easily going 10-7 or 9-8. I can easily see Detroit doing that. I can see the Packers the same, going down. Maybe the Vikings. Maybe there it is. There it is. My pick for last the first this year is going to be the Vikings. Hold on. Let me do the last team. Let's do the last team. Ooh, I take that back. Forget the Vikings. In the NFC South, you have Tampa Bay 9-8. The Saints are 9-8. The Falcons are 7-10. The Falcons is really the only team that really significantly improved themselves, and they got a quarterback, but they did get Kirk Cousins. So, I was talking about Phoenix as their quarterback, but that could be it. Maybe it's Carolina, man, because a lot of people just don't like Bryce Young. But Bryce Young at Alabama was the man. Like, he was really the legit best quarterback in all of college when he got drafted. He got stuck with the Panthers and no wide receiver. Thank you very much, Carolina. But no wide receiver help. And that's what he's missing. He needs some help. And they got him help this year, actually. The Panthers improved their offense. Xavier Legette, Hubert, they got Clowney. Oh my goodness, Jonathan Mingo. They tried to help him. Didn't they draft a young wide receiver too? I could have swore they did. But they Xavier Woods, like, a good thing for a quarterback as well as their defense. You gotta have a good defense. And man, like, I could see this team, because who they gotta worry about? You know, they don't have anybody to really worry about. They're in a great division. They are in a great division to win. The Falcons? You worried about the Falcons? I'm not worried about the Falcons. You got to play them twice a year? Oh, okay. I'll play the Falcons twice a year. Who else you got? The Saints? The Bucks? And I'm telling you, if you're a betting man, I would put money on the Carolina Panthers to go to the playoffs. not to win anything, drastic. Not saying that they're going to be like this super good team now or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that Bryce Young has talent. He is a talented player, and he's a good player. Bryce Young's a good quarterback. So if he steps up his game, I could easily see them winning 8-9 games. And if they win 8-9 games, those teams that in their division that won 9 or 8 games, they're not going to win 9 games. They're going to be down lower. This division, you can win this division with 9 wins. Last year, the Bucks and the Saints finished with 9 wins. So my upset for the NFC going from last to first instead of the obvious pick or the most popular pick being the Chicago Bears, I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers because that's an easy division. The Bears play in a very tough division. They play in a tough division. And it's hard to really succeed when you have to play the Lions, who were 12-5 last year, the Packers, who were 9-8 last year, and the Vikings, who were 7-10. There is no bum team in our division that you get to play twice. There's no bum team. So that does hinder their chances to make the playoffs. So I'm going with the Panthers. I'm going with the Panthers for my upset team of the year. In the NFC. 16 done. We talked about the NFC. Can we talk about another 16 teams? I don't know. That's gonna be difficult. Psych. Just kidding. We'll give you the AFC in one moment.
This is your home for sports. Red left. SportsTownChicago.com. Back to your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com. Scoreboard update.
At 4:57, I'm Jonathan Young with your SportsTownChicago.com update powered by Illinois Media. If interested in a career, go to BeyondAir.com. NFL is back tonight as the Ravens play the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City at 7:20 on NBC. The Cubs face the Yankees in Chicago tomorrow at 1:20. Yesterday, Imaga and 2 fellow relievers combined for a no-hitter as the Cubs beat the Pirates 12-0. Cody Bellinger and Dansby Swanson and Pete Crow Armstrong all went deep for the Cubs. The White Sox and Red Sox, the Battle of the Feet in Boston at 6:10 on Friday. Yesterday, the Sox snapped a 12-game skid with an 8-1 win over the Orioles. Nicky Lopez, Andrew Vaughn, and Dominique Fletcher all went yard. The Steelers' Russell Wilson is limited in practice due to calf tightness. Justin Fields, is he starting? Chiefsaholic sentenced to more than 17 years in prison over bank robberies. The Commanders fire VP for comments made in his video. Ronaldo becomes the first man to score 900 goals. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update brought to you by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to BeyondAir.com.
Take that exit and get to the Southern Cafe, home of the Nasty Biscuit on Roselle Road in Roselle. Get over there and try the chicken fried chicken biscuit made with the Southern Cafe's house-made drop biscuit with buttermilk chicken fried chicken smothered in country gravy, topped with shredded cheddar and crumbled hickory smoked bacon. I always say that when you go to the Southern Cafe, you come out with 2 meals with the heaping amounts of food they serve you in every meal. I love to go to a place with outdoor seating. The Southern Cafe has a great outdoor seating area to help social distance, and I get to enjoy my breakfast outdoors. Open 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. to give you plenty of time to grab an amazing breakfast or lunch. Now get your butt over to the Southern Cafe on Roselle Road.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
It's a quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football.
Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach? Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never expected that.
Get all of that and more on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
All right, boys. Remember who we are and who we represent. It's not about a place, it's about a people. Yeah! We're at the field right. Woo! 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 All day light! Woo! All night light! Woo! New job light.
Damn.
We the boys like. Our time light.
Oh, that's right! Defense right!
Okay, Mom.
You all right, baby?
Honolulu light!
General light!
Downtown light!
West Side light!
Japan light! Brazil light! All day light! All night light! All day light! All night light! All day, all night, all day, all night, all day, all night, all day, all night, all day.
Hey, what is going on here?
I go where Saquon goes. Get out of here.
Man, look here. If these intros is not getting you ready, is not getting you pumped up for NFL tonight, you're just not an NFL fan. If these commercials is not telling you what's coming up, if you played football, if you've seen football and you've seen and done those little chants, you know it's time. It's ready. It's here. Let's go, man. Stop playing, man. Okay. So we're back with the AFC. First of all, I'd like to thank NFL for that last clip. Man, these clips are unreal, Joe. Like, brings you back to when you played football, when I played football, definitely. Because I remember doing those on game days, those little chants and things like that, that camaraderie that you had with your teammates right before the game. And the games are here. The games are here. I'm so excited. All righty. So all right. AFC. We did the NFC. Now we're going to do the NFC. Or the AFC. So, again, let me know who you guys think is going to go from the worst to the best. Worst to the best. We're not talking about winning it all today. We're talking about who can improve. the fastest, basically, because that's ultimately what you want to do. You know, every year, like I said, this happens because every year there's players that get flipped. You know, no roster is the exact same from year to year. No roster. So you're always flipping at least a couple people. And it doesn't even have to be that they're on the court or on the field. If they're cancerous in the clubhouse or if they're positive in the clubhouse, still affects your team. So the addition of a bum who's just sitting on the sideline could really affect your team. So that's why every year you have these teams that go from best to worst and from worst to best. Because everything can change it. Anything can change it. Anything. There is no for sure in the NFL, except for Kansas City. All right, but anyway. So in the AFC East, hit me up. JJ Young at WindyCitySportsNation.com at gmail.com. Let me know who you guys think is going to go from worst in the AFC to the best. Because, okay, if it don't happen in both divisions this year, it's going to happen in one or the other. So I would like to know who you think it's going to be. All right. So in the AFC East, you have the Bills, who are arguably the favorites, the Dolphins. Oh, that's two top-heavy teams. And then you got the Jets, who were 7-10 without Aaron Rodgers. So you add Aaron Rodgers back, and you got to give them at least 3 more wins, at least. So you got three top-heavy teams. And then you got the Patriots. So I am very sorry, New England. Very, very sorry, but you guys definitely will not be making the playoffs next year. All right, so we can cross New England off. Don't even got to look at them no more. All right, and then you got the Chiefs in the AFC West. You got the Chiefs at 11-6. The Raiders were 8-9. The Broncos were 8-9, and the Chargers were 5-12. So outside of the Chiefs, you got the Raiders and the Broncos, and then the Chargers, who didn't even finish that far behind those two. They finished with 5-12, and Broncos and Raiders finished 8-9. So that's not a tough division. You know, you only got one top-heavy team. That's a question mark for Chargers so far. And then you got the AFC North. You have the Ravens at 13-4. That's crazy, man. 13-4. The Browns at 11-6. The Steelers at 10-7, and then the Bengals at 9-8. Oh wow, that is a tough division. But I can see Pittsburgh taking a step back. And the Bengals were the last team in that division. But man, they have so much talent in Cincinnati. And if Joe Burrow gets back to his old self, man, that would be outside of the Ravens. The Browns can take a step back. Pittsburgh can take a step back. Man, that would be that. I'm liking the Bengals. I'm liking the Bengals for my money right now. I'm put them ahead of the Chargers right now because it was the Chargers because of that division with the Raiders, the Broncos. You can beat up on those two teams. That's 3 wins right there. That's 3 wins right there. But the Bengals, man, they have weapons. And they got Joe Burrow. Man, that might be my pick. So they go ahead of the Chargers for right now. And then in the AFC South, we have the Texans at 10-7. The Jaguars at 9-8, the Colts at 9-8, and the Titans at 6-11. So this is a perfect example because the Titans were dead last year, and they were one of the worst teams in their division, if not the worst team in their division, and they went from the worst to the best. Now, granted, they had C.J. Stroud. I'll give you that. But my point is that it happens all the time, and the Texans were the most recent team to do it. So congratulations to the Texans. Good drafting. But 6-11 from the Titans. Yeah, no, that's just too much. Just okay. All four of those teams are just okay. The Texans, they're good. I like and the Jags too. Yeah. The Titans, they're not going to go from last to first. Not in that division. Not with the Texans and the Jags. You got good old Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence comes back to where he need to be, for sure they're going to go better than 9-8. Like, there's no way they go 9-8 with a healthy Trevor Lawrence again. So Titans, that's an uphill climb that I just don't see you making. So after going through the AFC, my bet is the Bengals. My bet is going to be the Bengals because the division they're in, the Steelers, they don't know what they're doing at quarterback. They don't know if it's going to be Russell Wilson or if it's going to be Justin Fields. And the quarterback, like we discussed, is one of the most important positions, if not the most important position in all of football. So them not having a decision there is very, very concerning. So I would love to see them drop. The Browns were 11-7. I do not see Baltimore or Cleveland duplicating that again. I just don't. I do not see them duplicating that again. And then you got the Ravens, who were 13-4. I do still like the Ravens, and I do still think they'll still be first in their division. But the Bengals could tie them. Both 11 wins. I do see the Bengals winning 2 more games. They were 9-8 last year. They can get 2 more wins. And if they do, now instead of being 9-8, you're 11-7. The same with the Ravens. So I could see the Bengals. Definitely, that would be my pick for going from worst to best in the AFC. We're going to go with the Bengals. So we got 32 teams down. What a great day. But there's one team that has my attention more than any other team. More than any other team. You want to know who it is? We'll let you know. One moment.
This is your home for sports. Longtime fan, sports is like life. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Hey, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A major league first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
The Chicago Dogs are back on SportsTownChicago.com. Tune in to the season opener against the Sioux City Explorers, Friday, May 28th at Impact Field in Rosemont. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Hear all the action right here on SportsTownChicago.com.
Pull up with tens, one-on-one never again. One get the cake in the butter, I count it like hustle the money all in. Rhyme in the town in the drop top coupe in the motor in the trunk you can hear. It's all about how they want me to loop, but I'm ready before I win. Fuck from a dummy, I'm seeing how I come in, tell me right on the edge. Get from young and I've been up, shoot out some money all under my bed. 28 taking a million, I made a career and 30 we dead.
Shit on. Cuts with that boy. Down he goes. And something but he is going, baby.
One-on-one bullet with tens. One-on-one never again. When we be cooking the butter, I count it like hustle the money all in. I'm in the town in the drop top coupe in the motor in the trunk you can hear.
That's right. That's right. That is the Chicago Bears hype video for the new season. Man, thanks to the Chicago Bears for that last clip. Go check out that hype video for the Bears for 2024. Because, man, there's a lot of hype behind this team for right reasons. So, we have talked about the AFC and the NFC. We've talked about the game tonight. But the most intriguing story this year has got to be the Chicago Bears. It's got to be, because no team in the NFL has done more for their quarterback coming into a situation than the Chicago Bears. No team has set their quarterback up better for success than the Chicago Bears. Now, a lot of people say, well, what about their offensive line? I know. But there's ways that you can maneuver around the offensive linemen if you don't have great offensive linemen. If you don't have great wide receivers, that's if you don't have great wide receivers to run slants or quick screens, quick hitters that can catch the ball and turn the ball upfield for a big gain, you're really in trouble. You're really in trouble, because if you have an offensive line that can block for 8 seconds but nobody that can catch the ball, that's a problem. So yes, you need to find a happy medium there. You need an offensive line that can block for maybe 3 or 4 seconds. Not 8, 3 or 4 seconds. Just long enough for him to get the ball out. And I do believe they have an offensive line that can do that. They're average. One injury does hurt them very much. But they're an average offensive line. So they'll give you 3 to 4 seconds. They'll give you that, Caleb. You can have your 3 to 4 seconds. But to have those wide receivers that they have, and DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze, you throw any of them a slant, and they can take it to the house. They can take it to the house. And then you have to worry about that. But now, because you're worried about those 3 wide receivers catching the slant and taking it to the house, you can't blitz. You can't blitz, because if you're blitzing, you're in man-to-man, and any one of those 3 will eat you up. Oh, I'm sorry. Not to mention you have two tight ends that can catch the ball in Cole Kmet and Everett. You got 2. So if they're running big, double tight end, no fullback, 1 running back, and 3 wideouts, what are you going to do? This is a great problem that the Bears have never had before. Never. They've never had this problem before. So it is absolutely great to see this problem. I do think Caleb can have his 3 to 4 seconds and throw the ball out to a wide receiver that is an above average wide receiver. So the Bears have done a great job in building a roster for him. It would have been nice if they had did it, for Justin, but Poles wasn't here long enough. So he had to do what he had to do. He really did. And it's sad, but we move on to the Caleb Williams era, even though it's sad. But that hype video, I definitely suggest that you watch it. So the Bears are in a great position because of their GM. Ryan Poles is a great GM because not only is he good at his job, is he willing to take that extra step. He's willing to stay late, to make sure whatever needs to get done gets done. He cares about his players. He's a hard worker, man. You can see it. You can see he's a hard worker. And if you, as a player, see your GM as a hard worker, what are you going to do? You going to be lazy? No, you can't be lazy. You're going to be a hard worker just like your GM. You're going to see what he's doing, and you're going to want to emulate it. You have to, because that's what you're around. So it's great that we have a great GM in Ryan Poles, because he sets the tone. He sets the tone. So what are your expectations for this team this year? Do you think they're going to go to the Super Bowl? No, I don't. Do you think they'll make the playoffs? I really don't. But I would love to hear what your expectations are. Reach out to me, JJ Young at Windy City Sports Nation, gmail@gmail.com. Reach out to me. Let me know what you think their records will be. Let me know, because I could easily see 10 wins. I could see 10 wins. Anything less than 9, in my opinion, would be a loss. It would be a bad season if you go anything less than 9. You have to improve, and they can take that next step. They can. When you go from 7-10, 9 wins, that's only 2 more games. That's only 2 more games. And you're banking on the fact that Caleb Williams is an upgrade to Justin Fields. You're banking on the fact that Keenan Allen is an upgrade to Tyler Scott. You're banking on the fact that Rome Odunze will be better than, I don't even know who their third wide receiver was last year. That's how bad their wide receivers were last year. So it's that improvement that makes you think they can go from 7 to 9 or 10 wins. Not enough to win their division, in my opinion, but they definitely can definitely can win 9 or 10 games, in my opinion. So this roster this year versus last year, the biggest takeaway has got to be the depth. Last year during cut downs, after cut down day, the Bears for the last 2 seasons have always claimed somebody off of waivers. They've always picked up other people's trash. And I understand why you would do that, because you're trying to find competent and capable players. Just because another team doesn't think that's what they are doesn't mean that that's not what they are. So give them a chance. But when you have a team that is better now, 2 years later, you can't give those kids chances anymore. You can't bring them in and say, hey, show me what you got. Because you have too much depth. You're scared to lose what you have. And that alone right there shows you how good of a job he's done. That alone. Because now that they have the depth that they have, they're not willing to give up on them. They can't say, hey, we'll come to Chicago and we'll give you a chance. Did you guys see Ryan Poles crying when he cut Colbert? Crying. Because he didn't want to let that guy go. He didn't want him to go play for another team. Even though he didn't want him to go play for another team, he knew that he was not the best safety in that room. So he had to get rid of him. And it hurt him. You could see it. Man, my boy had to leave the room and cry because it hurt him that bad. Joe, he has done a great job in rebuilding this roster, and I cannot wait to see what he has next. I can't wait. Man, this hour went by so quick, man. I could talk another hour about the NFL, man. It's here. I cannot wait. Alrighty, guys. So, unfortunately, this show is over. You guys come back next week. I will be here. We will definitely break down how Caleb and the Bears did on Sunday. Plus, we'll talk about what happened with this game tonight, because I had a lot of people telling me that Kansas City is just going to dog Baltimore. And I don't see it that way. Baltimore going to win. Watch and see what I tell you. We're going to talk about that and more next week. You guys have a great day. Stay tuned.
This is your home for sports.
It's the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsTownChicago.com.
Are you ready for this? Valley View Automotive has all of the hottest SUVs you've been looking for. Enjoy a test drive and the opportunity to drive one of these powerful vehicles off the lot for half the price. Yes, half the price. Now's the time to get yourself to Valley View by car, on foot, or even by air to take advantage of this outrageous sale. You better get here quickly, because this promotion is only going on for 24 hours, and the automobiles are leaving the lot faster than you can say four-wheel drive. Valley View Automotive, a dealership you can depend on.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
Indeed is the #1 job search user with over 250 million monthly users. Indeed's priority is to help everyone in the job searching process to find a job by uploading 10 new job opportunities every 10 seconds worldwide. With Indeed, you have free access to job searches, resume uploads, and company researches. There are over 10,000 employees at Indeed that pursue to help people find the job they are looking for. They connect with millions of people to new opportunities. Go to Indeed.com and sign up for free and create a resume and let Indeed do the rest to help you on your job search.
Hey, I'm Jesus Mauricio. Be sure to tune in every Friday to listen to Zeus Off the Bat, a baseball talk show from 1 to 2 p.m. where I'll be discussing and updating you on all things about baseball. News, predictions, reactions, and more about the Cubs, Sox, and everything across the league. Happens every Friday at 1 p.m. right here on SportsTownChicago.com. Don't forget to follow and share our Twitter and Instagram with your friends at Zeus Off the Bat. Zeus Off the Bat!